Okay, now I'm sure you're no stranger to Amazon. Amazon's one of the biggest marketplaces in the world. I've typed into the search window here children's coloring books, and you'll see a bunch of coloring books that come back. Many of these coloring books have been published by people just like you and me. They're not big companies. They're regular working moms, dads. They could be people who are semi-retired, or they just love doing this as a hobby. You can publish books right on Amazon. Now, the website that you want to use is called Amazon KDP. So the website is kdp.amazon.com, and you can sign up on Amazon KDP and you can make sales by publishing books. Anybody can sign up on Amazon, and then you push a book through the publishing process and you can publish right onto Amazon, and your book can sit alongside these other ones on Amazon. The beauty of all of this is that you don't need to hold inventory. So the book does not exist until someone buys it, and then Amazon will print the book and ship the book right to the client. And you get paid a commission or a royalty. It's a great way to earn passive income and have fun creating, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this video. Now, the software I'm using is called BOOKBOLT. I highly recommend them. I've personally used them to publish books and make money, and it's awesome. So I'm going to do a full walkthrough here of how BOOKBOLT works. I will put a link to BOOKBOLT in the video description below. Just a heads up, it is an affiliate link. That just means if you purchase the BOOKBOLT subscription, I would receive a small commission. I highly recommend them for ease of use, and they're just an awesome software solution here. So the first thing I'm going to do with BOOKBOLT is I'm going to research my niche. So I've got a little menu here on the left-hand side. One says research and one says create. There's a little drop-down menu. I'm going to leave it on research, and I'm going to go here to products. And then from here, I can type in keywords. Okay, and they're going to give me some results here down at the bottom. Average bestseller rating, that's just a number that goes 1 is the bestseller of all time, all the way down, the lowest price, the highest price, and the average price. And then what I love here is it's examples. We can see examples of a dinosaur book, 132 estimated sales, and this was just published 1 month ago. Children's Hospital coloring book, 5 estimated sales, 1 estimated sale. And the list goes on and on. You can take a look at different coloring books and get ideas of the way the cover looks, the different niches, the different keywords, and you can pop it open right onto Amazon and you can see exactly what the listing looks like. Another thing I like is over on the right-hand side, there's a keyword count and you can see different keywords. So these are things that you'd want to put into your titles and your descriptions when you're listing your book on Amazon KDP, because these are things that people are searching for. There's also related keywords down below, and you can use these as brainstorming fodder. You can take a look at what people are searching for, and it can really help you brainstorm some ideas for what's selling. All right, so I'm going to create a coloring book for children, and I'm going to flip this now from research to create. From here, I'm going to go to BOOKBOLT Studio, and I'll need to sign into BOOKBOLT Studio. All right, and you should see a page that looks something like this. Now, when you first log in, you won't see a project here, but if you're working on a book, it'll show up. So I'm going to create a new project from scratch. So there's a menu right here at the top, and I'm going to go here to project and then new project. From here, it's going to ask you what type of project would you like to make. In this case, I can do a hardcover book or a paperback, and there's 2 types of files. There's a cover and there's an interior. So what I'd recommend if you're starting is to start with a paperback, a cover, and interior. So that's going to be everything that you need to publish on Amazon KDP. Now my project name, I'm just calling it coloring book, but you could name this anything you like. And then for your trim size, you've got these different options and they correspond to whatever is available on Amazon KDP. I'm actually going to flip it here to a little over 8 inches by 11 inches. And then my interior paper type, you've got a few different options here. I'm going to leave it with black and white interior with white paper. And now for my page count, I'm going to leave it at 24, but you could go all the way up to 100 pages or even more. I'm going to make a nice small coloring book for 24 pages, and I'm going to click Create Project. Okay, now you're going to get a whole bunch of pages along the left-hand side. The first page is a landscape cover. So when you look at this cover, imagine the book is open. The cover, the front page on the right, and on the left side is the back of the cover. So you're going to create one big file that's going to be your book cover, and we'll do that at the end. First, we're going to populate the book though. So we have page 1. Page 1 is just blank. Page 2 is blank. In fact, they're all blank. And you can scroll all the way down here on the left-hand side and you can see all the way up to page 24, every page is blank. Now you can add a page if you wanted. So if down at the bottom here, you can click add page and you can add in an additional one, but I'm gonna leave it at 24 for right now. Now what I wanna do is click on page number 1 and add something into this page. Now I have options here in this menu right along here. I could add in text if I wanted. So I can click add heading, gives me a whole text menu. That's a pretty cool feature. I could also add an image from my file library. I can also add predefined templates. I'm gonna click on this little page templates button and we'll see a whole bunch of different page templates come up. Lined paper, graph paper, puzzle books, word searches, and the list goes on and on and on. So you can create all types of books inside of BOOKBOLT. It doesn't need to be a coloring book. I'm just choosing that one for this video. All sorts of different types of templates, and you can easily fill a book in minutes. But in this example, I'm going to add in a coloring book page. So you can go to a website and grab coloring book pages. You can purchase them. You can make them yourself, and I'm going to upload them now. So I'm going to click on this file library, and I'm going to click on Upload Image right here. Okay, so I've uploaded some simple coloring book graphics now into my library, and I can select one. I'm going to select this owl here, for example, and when I click the button, it simply moves right into the page. Now I can move this around. I can resize it, and I can even add effects. I can crop. There's all sorts of things that I can do here. Now because this is a simple coloring book, I'm just going to leave the image sort of as is, and I'm going to put it right here, right in the middle. I'm happy with the way that looks. So page number 1 now has the owl, and when I click on page number 2, we'll see that this is a blank page. I'm going to go back to my file library and I'm going to select my elephant here, and that is page number 2, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to simply populate page number 3 now, page number 4, and so on. I'm going to go all the way down now and fill out all 24 pages of my book. Okay, so I'm happy with the way my book looks here. I've got 24 pages all added in, and oh my, look at this. I need to make an edit. On page 3, I don't really like this picture. It's got a gray background. Very easy to edit this. I just need to select the picture, click the delete key, and now I can upload a new picture. So I'm going to click on the file library button, and I'm going to see everything that's yellow is in my current project. Anything that's blue, I haven't used yet. So I could pick another picture. I'll pick this flower, for example. And that's going to pop up. We'll see it says unsaved at the top. I can click the save button, or it auto saves because I have the auto save feature on, and it just takes a couple seconds. I'll resize this to fit, and we're good to go. Now, if you have a lot of pages in your book, here I've got 24 pages, you may want to look at all the pages all at once, and you can do that pretty easily. There's a top menu right here, and along the right-hand side of the top menu right here is an eyeball. And when you click on the eyeball, you can see the whole book. So here I've got a small list view. I can go to a larger list view, and then I can even go to a book view. Now I don't have my cover created yet, so it's blank, but when I click on next, you'll see it says page 1, page 2 and 3, and so on, all the way through the entire book. I can close out, and I can go right back into my normal view here. Okay, let's take a look here at our book cover. So I'm going to click on cover, and we're going to see that there's a paperback template that's set up perfectly that fits the Amazon KDP mold. So we need to fill in the information here on what a book cover would look like. The first thing I would recommend is coloring this book cover. So I'm going to select this shapes button right here, and I'm going to select the rectangle here, and I can move this rectangle now so that it's right at the very top. I can just drag it down. And if you'd like to remove this shapes menu, just simply click the shapes menu again. It toggles on and off. All right, so I've got my black box here. I'm going to stretch it all the way out and all the way down, and that's going to be my book cover. If you'd like to change the color, just select the shape, and on the top left, you'll see there's a fill color option. I can change the color to red, any color that I like. Because it's a children's book, I'm going to make it a nice bright green. Now I'm going to add in some text. So over on the left-hand side, there's a text button. I'm going to click it. We'll see a heading option opens up. I'm going to click it. We'll see there's the heading. I'll simply click my text menu again to make it go away. And now I can move this right into the middle of my cover. You can also select it and do Control-C and Control-V. That copies a new layer of text. Okay, so I'm happy with the way that text looks. Now I can change the font color the exact same way as before. I simply select this fill option. I can make it white. I can make it any color that I like. You can also stretch the font. You can also resize it, which is a nice option, so you can quickly make it larger or smaller. There's also a different fonts option here. There's lots of free fonts inside of BookBolt, so I could scroll on down and I could pick a font that I really like. Now I actually hit the enter button here. This is a 2-line piece of text, and so I've got this selected, and I can go up and select this little text size option right here, and I can change the line height so I can make it larger or smaller. You can toggle a lot of different font options right inside of BookBolt. It's a really nice feature. All right, and I've uploaded my image to be used on the cover. I'm going to throw it right here. So one thing I would encourage you to do is to select your, in this case, green box, but it's whatever color you're making it. And you'll notice there's a template underneath. And it's like, well, how do I know where everything's supposed to fit? You can see the outline, but how do I know exactly where the barcode is, for example? Well, there's a nice little feature here at the top, right here, called opacity. And when I click on it, because I have the shape selected, I can move this opacity down. So I would encourage you to do that while you're working on the book cover so you can see in behind, because if you're going to put images on the back, you don't want them to be over this barcode, because Amazon is going to place a barcode there when this book is actually published. Okay, now I've put some pictures on the back of the cover, but of course you could put text on here, different shapes. You could really dress up this cover however you want. Make sure that when you're done, you select the shape, you select the opacity, and you move it back up to 100%, because if you don't, then the template will shine through, and you definitely don't want that. So now I'm ready to publish this. So what you want to do now is download this as a file that you're then going to upload to Amazon KDP. So to download this cover and interior, you're going to go right here to the download button, and then you're going to go to download current project printed books. And BookBolt's going to go through the process of making sure that your book is sized correctly and it's creating a final output file just for you. All right, and when you go to save your file, you're going to notice it's a zip folder, and that's going to include the files that we need for Amazon KDP. So I'll click save. Now, once you save your zip file, I recommend that you go into Windows Explorer or however you open up your zip file. Here we can see I've got a zip file. I'm going to double click it. It's going to open it up, and I've really got just 2 files that I care about here. One is the cover, and one is the interior. Now, when I double click on the cover, we'll see that basically it is just a PDF file. Now, the right side of the PDF file is the front of the book, and the left side of the PDF is the back of the book. It's exactly as I drew it up. The interior is the same. It's essentially a 24-page PDF, and every page has my illustrations on it exactly as I drew it up inside of BookBolt. So you're just going to get 2 PDF files, and now we're going to upload those PDF files right into Amazon KDP. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. I'm on Amazon KDP's website, and I'm just going to go down here to the bottom of the page where it says create a new title or a series, and I'll click that. All right, now I'm going to have an option here to create an ebook, a paperback book, or a hardcover, or a series. And what I want to do here is create a paperback. So I'm going to click create paperback. Okay, now I have the option to enter a bunch of stuff into Amazon KDP. So I'm going to choose my language. I'm going to enter my book title. Remember to go into BookBolt and look up keywords that are helpful when you're listing your book title, your subtitle, and your description. The first page on Amazon KDP is basically establishing your book. So here we've got our language, our book title, and I've typed in my author's name and then a description that describes the book. And you've got a lot of characters you can use, so don't be afraid to really bolster this up and make it look creative and exciting. I own the copyright. There's no sexually explicit images. My primary marketplace is going to be Amazon. And then I've got a low content book. Now you want to choose your categories here. So I'm going to select this button, and then you're going to see categories that come up. Now, one thing you can do is go onto Amazon and see the categories that people are using. But in this case, it's pretty straightforward. It's a children's book, activities, crafts, and games. I'm going to select general, and then I can add another category. There's 1 out of 3 here that are selected. You can always remove the category if you need to as well. I'm going to select add. Okay, so I've saved my categories here. I can keep going. It's important to indicate that this is a low content book. A low content book just basically means you don't have a ton of words in there like a novel. Here's my keywords that I've put in. You can choose up to 7 keywords. I recommend filling in all 7 keywords. And then you're going to go right here down to the bottom, and I'm going to click save and continue. Okay, next up, you're going to be asked for an ISBN number. I just recommend, especially if you're a beginner, just publish without an ISBN because a low content book doesn't need one. And then for print options, just make sure it matches here what you intended. In this case, I've got black and white interior with white paper. You really want to make sure your trim size here is the same as what you selected with BOOKBOLT. And here I've got my slightly larger book, which is a non-standard trim size, 8.27. And then this paperback cover finish, matte just means it's not a shiny finish, and glossy means that the book will be a little bit more shiny. It's totally personal preference. And then here's the fun part. You get to upload your manuscript right here. So this is the PDF document that is the BOOKBOLT interior of the book, the 24-page PDF. So I'm simply going to select my interior, and I'm going to select open, and that's going to upload right into Amazon KDP. All right, now it does take a couple minutes, so just be patient. It'll take a second to upload, and then you'll see this processing your file, and that's what you want to see. So that's good. Now we're going to go here to book cover, and we'll see there's no cover uploaded. Now you can launch a cover creator, which we won't get into in this video. I'm uploading a cover I already have because BOOKBOLT did all the heavy lifting for me and it's given me a print-ready PDF. So I'm going to click this button here, and then I'm going to upload my cover file. And from here, I'm going to select the one that says paperback cover, not the interior, but the cover, and I'll click open. Okay, and the same as before, we can see here it's processing the file. The first one here up at the top, the interior, processing your file. It does take a few minutes for Amazon KDP to read and process the book. And then right down at the very bottom, you're going to see a book preview, and I highly recommend that you run this before you publish your book. So I'm going to click Launch Previewer. Okay, and this is a good sign here. You'll see preparing your files, and this will just take a couple minutes to run, and then we'll be able to see our book. Okay, how exciting is this? We're in the print previewer, and we can see we have 24 pages. There's my cover. There is the barcode. This looks great. I'm going to simply select this little right arrow button, and we can see the different pages now that are coming up inside of our coloring book. This looks great. So I recommend that you go through your book, of course, and just double check it for quality, double check that none of the pictures are looking weird. If you don't like it, of course, you would exit the print previewer, you would not approve, and you would make changes and re-upload a new PDF and go through this process again. But in this case, I'm happy with it. I'll click approve. All right, now this is all personal preference here when it comes to pricing. So I'm going to select all territories. Primary marketplace is Amazon. And then here I can select my price. Now it did tell me my printing price, but if you're not sure, if you don't remember, then you can just type this in. Now if I type something that's too low, like $1, for example, it's going to say no. It's going to give you a minimum price. So here I'm going to type in 6, and we'll see what the rate is and the royalty. So you're going to need to decide the price of your book based on factors like how many you think you're going to sell, what's your time worth, here's your printing cost, and I've got a royalty here of about 91 cents US. Again, there's no right or wrong answer here. Some books that take a lot of time and energy, you could charge quite a bit of money, and people are willing to pay that. So it's totally up to you on what you think is a decent price. It will automatically translate down below into different worldwide currencies, which is a really nice feature. So you don't need to update these. You can if you like, but if you only update the US, it will track down here to the bottom and update that as well. And that's it. Down here at the bottom, you can request a proof if you want, and a paper copy will come in the mail to you, or you can simply click publish your paperback book, and within 48 hours or so, it will go live on Amazon KDP, and your book will sit next to Amazon Books right there in one of the biggest marketplaces in the world. I really hope you found this walkthrough helpful. I love using BOOKBOLT. I use it a lot, not only for coloring books, but for all sorts of activity books, tons of low content books. It's an amazing resource, highly recommend. I'll put a link in the video description. Make sure to check it out. Here's another video on how you can have some fun using this powerful software, BOOKBOLT.